Shalom, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that taught us this word. I just want to do a video on staying on that narrow path, the straight gate, and staying away from that wide gate. That narrow path represents, being disciplined in this truth, following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord to the best of your ability, and just staying on that correct path and not getting caught up in the ways of the world, not getting caught up in idols, not getting caught up in, false philosophies and wayward doctrines, because it's very easy in this setup, in this time. And that's what that means by walking that straight and narrow path, to the kingdom. But the first scripture I'm going to get is 2 Ezra 7:3. It says, "And I said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put a case, the entrance were narrow, and like a river. But put the entrance were narrow, and like a river, who then could go into the sea to look upon it, and rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come to the broad? There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, which is full of all good things." And that city, represents the kingdom. "The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could only one man go there at once. So small that there could but one man go there at once. Yeah, nobody can walk by your side in this thing. Nobody can, hold your hand in this truth, man. It's up to you, to stay disciplined and do what you need to do. It's staying in the spirit and staying on fire in this truth. No one can guide you through this thing, man. That fire, that water, that pride, you gotta stay humble, because that pride can lead to destruction as well. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Yeah, you gotta prove yourself in this thing, man. You're gonna be tested and tried. The spirit is willing, but though the flesh is weak, you gotta fight that flesh, which is of the world. So everything in the scriptures, it's contrary to this world. See, it's a constant battle. You know. So if this city were now given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? So yeah, we all have to be tested, We all have to go through that danger, that trials and tribulations. And I said, It is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, Even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that it is now done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. But they are but few and evil, full of perils, and very painful. Yeah, so it's not gonna be no cakewalk into the kingdom, man. You're gonna have to go through some things. You got to deal with some things, but you gotta keep your mind on right. You gotta just stay in the spirit. That's what's gonna help you get through it. Next scripture is of Matthew 7:13. "Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Yeah, because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Yeah, that straight gate, that path of difficulty, man. It says wide and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. The ways of this world, the philosophies of this world. Doing whatever you want. That's entering at the wide gate. That's going to lead you to destruction. You know, look up that word straight on the online etymology dictionary. It means a confined space or place, narrow, specifically of bodies of water, narrow passage of water, a sense of difficulty, plight, conventional or wisely limited way of life, a wisely limited way of life. Yeah, that narrow gate. The righteous path. It's a limited, it's a wise, limited way of life. That's why you got to be disciplined in this thing. So it would be in your best interest, to follow, the statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. You can't keep them all perfectly. Not to get caught up in wayward doctrines, other philosophies, other gods, following after these false prophets, these false pastors. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go thereat. Yeah, that straight gate, that wisely limited way of life. Look at the adjective version of straight. It's narrow, strict, tight, close-fitting, constricted, narrow. To bind or draw tight. Yeah, man. It's that narrow path. Why? Because the devil is out there roaring, looking to see who he can get caught up in this thing. It's very easy to get caught up. But as the scriptures say right here in 1 Peter 5 and 6, it says to humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that He may exalt you in due time. Yeah, you gotta humble yourself, man. Like I said, pride is a way of destruction as well. Having a prideful mind, that's part of that wide gate that'll lead you to destruction. It says you gotta humble yourself. You gotta walk humbly in this thing, man. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that He may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon Him, for He careth for you. Don't be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Yeah, so Satan is out there, the devil is out there, looking who he can devour up, who he can take out of this truth. He's constantly working on ways to get people out of this truth, man. So you got to be sober and vigilant and staying in the spirit. Because we have not received the spirit of this world. This is 1 Corinthians 2 and 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of the Most High, that we might know the things that are freely given unto us of the Most High. It says we were not given the spirit of the world. The spirit of the world is that wide gate. You gotta stay in the spirit that the Most High gave us, man. Yeah, the true spirit of the Most High. Last scripture is Micah 2 and 10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. Yeah, depart from what? Of the spirit of this world, the philosophies of this world, the doctrines of this world, You have to depart from all that. That's contrary to what the scriptures speak. If it's not coming out of the Bible, then it's not of the Most High. It's the spirit of the world, says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sore destruction. So yeah, you got to make sure you're on that narrow path, that wisely limited way of life, the righteous way of life. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. Yeah, going back to Matthew. Enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. The spirit of this world, that depart from it. And so with that, shalom.